What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks NBA Playoff Edition. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video and goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. No NBA game has even tipped off here yet, but we're coming to you super early because every line's out, every opportunity to talk through things. Well, not every line. We're looking at some Clippers situations where I don't know why those are the ones that we're still waiting on. I know Kawhi Leonard, doubtful for this, didn't practice again today, so it's a bummer. We were kind of deprived of that after the first couple games of this series. Thought it might be competitive, but alas, a lot of wonky games coming up here for both Tuesday and Wednesday's slate, where there is no competitive game on the slate, at least for Wednesday. Looking at that, all 9 points or greater. Going to be a wild one, but Tuesday going to be pretty wild as well. But I'm just going to talk FanDuel here quick for you guys on the onset. But $5, get $150. I'm going to start incorporating a lot of books here as we're talking about things, because again, different books available in different states. The Bet365 promo we had going was only available in 4 states, but there is a description box below. If you guys click on that, you will find all of the books, because Odd Shopper is exactly that. We are shopping for the best odds at the best books because, hey, if you can pay minus 105 as opposed to minus 110 for a play, why wouldn't you do it? So get exposure to every book you can. If there's something you haven't signed up for, they probably have some great deal going on. Bet $5, get $150 at FanDuel. I know DraftKings is now running the identical offer in that description box below, trying to keep pace. They saw, I'm doing FanDuel now. All of a sudden, they're upset. They have to jump on our whatever. We like DraftKings too. We play there a lot. So sign up at all the books below. It's great stuff. It's only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER and check out all of that writing right there. That's great stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff. But check it all out. Join now at FanDuel Sportsbook. Cool. Let's talk 3 NBA games. This might be one of our only 3 gamers we have left the entire rest of the way. I'm going to be really sad when it's like 1 game, 2 games. Ugh, less work, being able to go to bed earlier. That sucks. I hate that. So does producer Alicia. She got some love in the description box below. Thank you so much. As she hangs out in North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Twist it around your hips like a helicopter. We got a lot of plays to talk about. Let's be professional. Let's get things done. Let's make some money, shall we? Let's get to the picks. We begin our journey with the Hawks visiting the Celtics here. 229 total. And the spread is what we really want to focus on here. 13 and a half, depending on what book you're looking at. That is wild stuff, but makes sense. When DeJounte Murray, he bumped into an official. That's a no-no. You can hit LeBron James in the nuts, but do not bump into an official after a basketball game. That is a no-go with the NBA. What a world we live in. What a time to be alive. But looking at the spread, I do think there's at least a lean consideration that we should have here. And just to refresh, in case you guys are new to the program, always want to remind these or throw in reminders from time to time. But a lean, that's something I'm thinking about betting, or there's not a line out, but I can anticipate where the line's going to be, want it to be on your radar. A like, that's something that, hey, you can definitely bet it. I've bet it too. And a lock is my favorite play from the game, a little bit different than during the regular season when those locks could be jam type spots. Here, not necessarily the case, just going to be my favorite play from the game entirely. But the lean here is actually Atlanta plus 13.5. It's available at BetMGM. Now, you can sign up for that in the video description box below as well. Be checking out all the different books, but there are only 2 books currently that have this plus 13.5 number attached to it. Standard juice, minus 110. And I think Atlanta should be right around 12.5. So it's nothing crazy in terms of consideration, but the reason it's a lean on my radar is I could see this number moving to 14. I really, really could. And if that were to be the case, I think it becomes a bet pretty much instantaneously. I get it. Boston is a lot better than Atlanta, especially a lot better than what they're going to be without Atlanta. No DeJounte Murray. So it's going to be Aaron Holiday called into active duty. That's not great. It's going to be a lot of Bogdanovich. I could see him sliding into the starting rotation. Sadiq Bey makes some sense as well. Those are going to be the guys who get some more minutes. And a couple of lines are out, like the DeAndre Hunter side, because I mean, he can't play more minutes than what he's been playing through the first couple of games of this series already. 40 last time out, 35, 38, 30, but that was a blowout for game 1. So I think he's the one person that they feel comfortable projecting right now at the books and then other players going by the wayside. So Atlanta props we're going to be waiting on, but Atlanta plus 13.5, a lean that I'm hoping becomes a like based on it moving to 14. If it doesn't, I'm okay passing. I'll still have a lot of life to live, a lot of bets to give. I don't know where to go with that. That's a weird segue to the like play. Marcus Smart is who I want to emphasize here. Really quality basketball game we saw from him. He was questionable going into that game. He is completely off the injury report here going into game 5, coming off of game 4. Good stuff from him, though. Really good minutes. 8 for 14 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3, 19, 4, and 4. That's going to be what Marcus Smart does when he's healthy. And I do think the assist rate is something that, I mean, when he's offensively going, you'll see him from time to time just be a little bit more assertive, less of a distributor from time to time. But the assists are kind of what fell by the wayside last game, and it didn't matter in terms of his PRA. And I also am a little bit surprised to see where some of the Malcolm Brogdon props were last game. They're not available yet, but he only played 23 minutes. And I do think when you have a healthy Marcus Smart in a closeout game, Malcolm Brogdon, sure, he could get cleanup duty, which is very live when you're talking about a double-digit spread, but I project Marcus Smart pretty darn close, if not a little bit better than his season averages of 12, 3, and 6. You take 12 plus 3, that's 15. 15 plus 6, that's 21. I project him for 23.5. Well, you know what that means? A couple extra minutes, 32, going up from what we had last time. He only played 29 minutes and was really effective on that floor time. I like this 21.5 number that we have. It's minus 125 at Caesars. Minus 125 at Caesars Sportsbook. Caesar live here? No. I didn't think so. But yeah, that's going to be Marcus Smart. Over 21.5 PRA. Actually, currently, my favorite play from the game. The only thing, I have a half-unit play on Marcus Smart, and that is it right now. Because I don't know what to do. There's a lot of pieces missing. You can hit me up at Eric Lindquist, but there is no lock play. Hit the button. None. Nunca. Zero. There's a lot of ways to say that, but I was trying to figure them out in my head. You know what happens sometimes? You talk enough into a microphone, you just sound like an idiot. It's going to happen from time to time, or a lot of the time. Either way, I don't have a lock play here because I need more props. I need more numbers. I need more news, I suppose. I mean, not necessarily news. It's more of just, I need the books to decide what they think the Atlanta rotation is going to look like. But of course, that fifth starter is a massive deal. We've seen Aaron Holiday slide into starting units before. We've seen Bogdanovich, even though in the Quinn Snyder era, that hasn't been as popular. And then Sadiq Bey, who I think is probably the front runner to start. You move Trae Young over, you move it down the line. So there's a number of ways it's going to come out, but you're going to have to wait for literally every other prop on the board more than likely, other than Capella and Okongwu. Why are those props not out? Stupid. They're going to just not share the center minutes again? I bet they share the center minutes again. Just throwing it out there. Whatever. No lock play here yet. More news to be decided. Hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist, or the best spot, the premium Discord. Sign up for that using promo code Lindy. Come hang out with me. MLB off to a great start. Next game. This is how I win. No, this is not how I win. And Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, I love you so much. Please, please just stay healthy your entire career and retire as the greatest Minnesota athlete of all time. Joining the ranks of Kirby Puckett, Chris Carter, Dante Culpepper. No, we're not going to go there. It's Kevin Garnett. That's the best Timberwolf as of right now. I don't think it's remotely close. Like, not remotely close. Always great when you trade him instantly and he wins a title, too. That's... Anyway, the Minnesota Timberwolves are playing the Denver Nuggets here. 9-point dogs as we go to this one. 221 total. This total just continues to go down because even in overtime, they find it difficult to score points in this game, unless you're Anthony Edwards and Nikola Jokic, who had an absolute duel. By far the most exciting game. I know that Sacramento Golden State game was crazy and amazing, but it was more like absurd, and Steph Curry was doing stupid stuff to make it competitive, and then De'Aaron Fox breaks his hand, which we're going to talk about on Wednesday. I'm already depressed about it. Doubtful for that one. Can't get any breaks. But my Minnesota Timberwolves here, they're in a very tough spot here to keep it going. I hope they do, but I will start with the over of 221 being my lean here. Minus 110 over on FanDuel, our sponsor. So FanDuel Sportsbook, it's 221.5 pretty much everywhere else. Again, it's a half-point difference. I project this closer to 224-ish. It's in that range, 224.2. Cool. I don't think that that's a play for us yet. I want it to extend a little bit more. I would want it to dip a little bit more. I doubt it does. More than likely, this isn't going to end up being a play. But if you have to, if you're going to take a lot of points props, if you're going to be taking the single game parlay route and you need to attach something to it, 221. Although, be careful of the VIG on a lot of those. When you have correlated props, they'll give you very skewed payouts. So you always want to be careful with that kind of stuff. Just throwing it out there. Yeah. Shout out to our sponsor, FanDuel. Good stuff. But either way, you kind of know what you're getting at. You want to be able to project out the fair odds for things. Again, if you have questions about stuff like that, people are DMing me all the time over in the premium Discord. Happy to oblige. Happy to talk to you on Twitter, wherever else. At Eric Lindquist. Super easy to find me there. But 221, it's my favorite outright, other than the like play, which we're going to get a little bit exotic for this. And this is where Odd Chopper really comes in handy. And it's been something I've added to my repertoire because I just don't project these out as much. I basically project out what the minutes are for the entire game, but there are small, minute differences in terms of rotations or what coaches can do. And you can kind of figure out at this point in time, the Denver Nuggets, they're avoiding their bench like the plague, as they should. They have one of the worst benches in the NBA. They have all season long. We've talked about it multiple times on this program. But what's really happened is when you add these extra minutes to the fray, you are running into spots where, like, you're going to see more points, I think, long-term for a Denver Nuggets team. Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, these guys on the floor for longer. Bruce Brown Jr., serviceable coming off the bench. But really, Christian Brown, when he comes out on the floor, it's like an ancillary piece. They are really putting 4 or 3 starters around him to begin with. There's never a lack of 3 starters on the floor for the Denver Nuggets as it stands right now, unless it's the last minute and they've had like DeAndre Jordan coming in to clean up second quarters and stuff like that. But why am I talking about this? Because we're going to go to the Minnesota side for the first half team total. And what? Why are we doing this? 53.5. Odd Chopper has identified this as a really solid play over at FanDuel. And I just want to give it a shout out because it's inside of standard juice. We're talking minus 102. So books, for all intents and purposes, think it's less likely to be going over 53.5. And yet I project this around 55, which turns it, again, a little bit different. 1.5, minus 102 as opposed to standard juice. Projecting out as a play for me, a half unit play on the first half team total. Expected ROI, 3% right now over on Odd Chopper. Doesn't sound extreme, doesn't sound great. But you want to be grinding out these small edges from time to time, giving yourself an opportunity to pick up bucks on bets that might not be as efficient as the full game totals. And I think this one makes a lot of sense. Another do or die game. Anthony Edwards playing tons of minutes. It would seem as though Karl Anthony Towns could not play worse than he's played in some of these spots. Although I will, game 4 kind of rose to the challenge at times. At times, that's about all you can ask for from your max player, right? Anthony Edwards, how are we going to afford you for the next 10 years, 15 years of my life? Take everything I own. Sorry, except for my dog. I'm keeping Duke. But last one, I do have a lock play from this one. And shout out PointsBet. There are a lot of really good plays available over at PointsBet. Kind of an Illinois tradition, if you will, for a lot of people. Available to multiple places. So sign up for PointsBet as well. Get exposure to this. Rudy Gobert is at just 11.5 rebounds. I don't understand. And I know Karl Anthony Towns sharing the floor here with him, but we saw 39 minutes from Rudy Gobert, 2 of the last 3. They want him on the floor guarding Nikola Jokic as many times as possible. He averages 11.6 rebounds per game in just 30.5 minutes per game. And now we're going to ramp him up to 39, and you're going to keep his rebound the same? His rebound prop at 11.5? What are we doing here? This is a jam. This is my favorite play on the entire board here as it stands right now for Tuesday's slate as I record this Monday, early evening-ish. So, April 25th, fire it up at PointsBet, minus 115, so a little bit beyond standard juice, but I don't care. As I lose my voice, I'm so excited. Rudy Gobert, over 11.5 rebounds, the best play on the board. I have to imagine that thing moves. It is 12 at other places, so be prepared. I would be okay betting this up to 12.5 at standard juice. Throwing it out there, 12.5 standard juice, just fine by me, but 11.5, oh, daddy. We're taking this one to the top, baby. God, I was so excited. Now, whatever this is, it's weird because this person is happy, but my reaction over here, not as happy. But you know what? I'll pretend it. For FanDuel Sportsbook, yay, everybody. Sign up in the video description box below. They have an amazing deal going on. Bet $5. Get $150 in bonus bets. I know a lot of you already have FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm so sorry. We'll have other offers, and there are other offers for you in that video description box below. So find a book, find a promotion, take advantage of it because you want to be shopping for the best odds day in, day out. I cite FanDuel all the time on this program. Even before, I started really intertwining it here because I love FanDuel Sportsbook and I want you guys to be taking advantage of this offer. Again, all you do is you deposit a little bit, you bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets, and that bet doesn't even need to win. That's been a clarification for a couple of other places, but you bet $5. Doesn't matter what this bet does. Get $150 in bonus bets. It's only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-522-4700. That is 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all, one more game to get to. Let's get back to the picks. Feels like a funeral. It's not great. Phoenix Suns hosting the LA Clippers here, and yeah, 224.5 total, sitting right in the middle between the Timberwolves total, the Atlanta total. I should call them the Boston total and the Denver total if we're going to be exact there. Maybe the teams that are like minus 400 and greater favorites on the money line. But Phoenix, basically in the same category as we have with Boston, minus 750 on the money line. Good luck making money on that long term. Pretty wild. 13 points pretty much everywhere here. Well, except for one place. We'll talk about that. It's going to be beautiful. But we start off our analysis here with Russell Westbrook. This feels like Custer's last stand. This feels like the general saying goodbye, just waving adieu. 40 minutes back-to-back games for him. Put up 37, 6, and 4. He did everything he possibly could last time out. Shout out Russell Westbrook for showing that he's still got a little bit of game. And I know Phoenix, they don't have Chris Paul. He's 6'1", and trying to put bigger dudes on Russell Westbrook and trying to slow him down and such. But Russell Westbrook is still pretty effective when he wants to be at times. And this just feels like a spot. Hey, Russ, go try to win us a basketball game. But if I'm going to try to make some money in the process, might as well try to go out with a bang here. I'm leaning towards the triple-double. Now, I need to see these odds, and they're not available here right now, but they have been a lot shorter absent Kawhi Leonard, as you would expect for somebody who, on the season, we know what the upside is. We know that he's going to be somebody that is on the floor for tons and tons of minutes, and I still think Terrence Mann has been absent from this rotation in like a prominent way for no reason until of late. Nice to see him get up to 30 minutes last game finally, but I don't know what took Ty Lue so long here. 5 games into this series, it went 20, 24, 26, 26, 30. It's like, buddy, Terrence Mann should have been playing a lot the whole way. And now Nicholas Batum out of the starting rotation, out of the rotation almost entirely. 6 minutes of him. I don't know, Russell Westbrook to triple-double. Feels like a spot where, yeah, Marcus Morris Sr. is now in this rotation. 1 for 8 from 3. He's got to knock down a couple of shots. Got to get some of these potential assists to go down here for Russell Westbrook, but he's going to be out there running 100 miles per hour like he always is. Might as well make a little coin on it, but let me know if you guys want, or if you're looking at this. I got to see what the odds are. Hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist. I feel like I've said that 84 times today, but it is very applicable. All right, we jump to a like play, and both of these come from PointsBet. Once again, it's pretty incredible how this has been working for us. Just in this book. This book seems to have all the best lines as it stands right now. Not even one we're sponsored by. So I just want to say, I think there's something in the video description box below, but I don't even care. If you have access to it, please take advantage of the best number on Kevin Durant. And this Kevin Durant prop was not what I was expecting necessarily, but we've seen the usage go pretty steadily, towards Devin Booker. He has been sensational in this series. Now he's put up 26 plus in every single one, 30 plus in the last 3. He's had 38 and 45 in games 3 and 4 respectively. He's been outrageous, but Kevin Durant playing tons of minutes, and he hasn't been attempting as many threes as what I was expecting, but when he does, he's over a 40% three-point shooter. He's one of the best shooters in the NBA, one of the best scorers in the history of the NBA. And I expect him to be shooting some more threes as we get down to the end of this series. So 3 for 7, 1 for 3, 3 for 4, kind of some weird, wonky totals there. But I think a healthy Kevin Durant playing 40 plus minutes in any spot, you should be projecting for around 5 threes. Like, you should be projecting around 5 3-point attempts. Sorry, wanted to make sure I clarified that. And when you shoot 40% from 3, that projects out around 2. And that creates something that's incredible when we're talking about making 3 of them for plus 135 type numbers. I haven't projected for 6.5 3-point attempts for this game. It's going to really depend on whether or not you read into just 3 and 4 3-point attempts the last 2. I think he is starting to find his stroke, starting to find his footing with this Phoenix Suns team. Not that it's that hard to incorporate one of the best scorers of all time, but you give me plus 135 on this number, and that is hard to not say yes, please, to. Give me a healthy serving of Kevin Durant threes, please, over 2.5 threes. The bee's knees. Cool. We have one more play. We're going to round out this program, and I talked about it earlier, 12.5, 13. We're talking about money lines almost identical to Boston, but PointsBet, only spot where this is existing right now. And Phoenix is minus 11.5. It has to be my favorite play from this game, and probably my second favorite play overall for the day. Not a jam spot. Just have a unit on it, just a standard play, but I think it's the lock of this game for sure. Phoenix minus 11.5. I don't see how the Clippers hang with Phoenix at home. Like, Phoenix at home is just, they're going to just go nuts on them. I can't imagine without Kawhi Leonard there. If he doesn't play here, he didn't participate in the shoot around there on Monday. They're down 3-1. I can't see him playing here. This number will move to 13.5 or 14 if there's no Kawhi Leonard. I'm just saying, I feel like this line at PointsBet is middled to a certain extent. I think it should be 10 if you have Kawhi. If it should be 10 if Kawhi Leonard is not playing. Apologize for the gibberish that just got thrown out there, but could be limited as well. There's a lot of ways that this doesn't work out well for him, but I don't have Kawhi Leonard playing in this game. I don't think you should either until we get other news, and that just makes me want to put a perspective play on Phoenix, the rightful massive favorites here, but not as big of favorites as Boston at this place, PointsBet. So take advantage of it. Minus 11.5, best play from this one. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on the board for Tuesday's slate. 3 of them coming down the pipeline. We got to enjoy them while they last. Looking forward to talking a little Atlanta-Boston, looking at some props from that one, things of that nature. So going to be a fun time. But check out FanDuel Sportsbook. Get that promo. Bet $5. Get 150 only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all. I'll be back on Wednesday per usual. Until then, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Tuesday.